The content of this podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. It is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the guidance of your healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding your mental or physical health. The views expressed are those of the host and guests and do not replace personalized care from a licensed professional.
Welcome to Mindful Moments with Pedro Morante, a space where a nurse practitioner and educator shares real talk on mental wellness, mindfulness, and navigating life in and out of healthcare. Let's take a moment to breathe, reflect, and grow together.
Hello everyone and welcome to Mindful Moments with Pedro Morante. Today's episode is very special. It's called Finding Purpose, Resilience, and Meaning in Life. And my special guest today is Miss Lorena Frey. As many of our listeners know, we often feature nurses, mental health professionals, clinicians, and healthcare leaders who dedicate their lives for helping others. But every now and then, I believe it is valuable to step outside healthcare and learn from individuals whose life experiences can offer fresh insights into resilience, purpose, leadership, and mental wellness. Because mental health isn't just about healthcare conversation, it is a human conversation. Today's guest is someone who has built a career helping people navigate major life transitions while also growing as an entrepreneur and a leader. Joining us today is Miss Lorena Frey.
Hi.
Miss Lorena Frey is a real estate professional specializing in the Las Vegas market and an entrepreneur passionate about helping people achieve their dreams. Her work centers on service, relationships, personal growth, and living with faith and purpose. Lorena, welcome to Mindful Moments with Pedro Morante. And before we talk about what you do, we'd like to begin every episode now with what we're calling as Mindful Moment. When you reflect on your life and career, what's one lesson, realization, experience that has shaped who you are today?
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much, Peter, for having me here. I'm super grateful about it. I will say that not taking anything personal. So all of us can have a bunch of issues going on, but failing once doesn't mean that we are going to fail in life. We are always learning. Every single day is a learning experience. So it's just like being open-minded and just like having the positive mindsets, I will say, is the key.
I love how you emphasize positive mindset. I think that I strongly believe that our mindset is our biggest asset, as they said, right? It gives us an opportunity to grow and it gives us an opportunity to at least be successful in life. And now I would like our listeners and our followers of this podcast who may be meeting you for the first time. Tell us about yourself, Miss Lorena, and who is Lorena Frey beyond real estate, entrepreneurship, and professional accomplishments?
I am from Colombia. I am from the capital of Colombia, from Bogota. I grew up there. I came to the US the first time, it was in 2017. I was studying business administration at the time in the University Libre of Colombia. I decided just to start my career as a real estate professional here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I am super passionate about it. I really work from Sunday to Sunday, full time. I love what I do. I feel that I'm not working.
Wow, Sunday to Sunday, like that's 7 days. And I think I see the passion for you to help other people. And also your passion brings you to a level wherein it seems like it's not work for you at all, but it's all fun at all doing real estate. Is that correct?
Yes. So this is really a blessing. I don't feel that this is a job at all. This is a lifestyle. Helping others, guiding others, educating my clients is my passion. When my clients call me, I am always there for them. I am just like super, super passionate, and it's really, really a blessing. Is what I was asking God for a long time, just to really like find my purpose. And just because I ask Him and I believe, it really happened.
Thank you, Lorena. Now let's talk about your career journey. You built a successful career in real estate and entrepreneurship. What inspired you to enter this field, and what continues you to motivate you to do the work that you do today?
So first of all, I am a people person. I am always like, for me it's very easy like to have empathy with others, and it has been like that since like I grew up. Second, when I was growing up, I was seeing my mom working on these fields as well. So she was in the real estate fields. She was like more focused on the new homes. So I was like seeing her like helping others, guiding others, making others happy. So like that really helped me a lot to really find my career path. And so then I came to Las Vegas for the first time. I saw the market here is really an amazing market to like grow more and more and to help more and more people. So I just decided to start my journey here in Las Vegas, and it has been really, really a blessing.
And one thing that I'm saying is that coming from Colombia to here, and also with the influence of your mom, and I think we spoke about this when we were having dinner with my wife Crystal. And I see that your mom is a big influence of who you are today. Is that correct?
That is totally correct. She's the most positive woman that I have ever seen in my life. She is the one who really taught me that like we like are the ones who create our own life, and depending on how we think. And if we really think in a positive way, positive things are going to happen. But if we really think negative, that the worst is going to happen, that is going to be correct as well. So, and I have seen her like growing more and more and more. So she was really an inspiration for me, for like the person who really I am right now, even in my profession. She's really like my role model.
And that shows how important mother and daughter relationship is, right? It seems like the childhood history and environment really molds who you are today and who we are today. Like there's a big influence from my dad and from my mom's side too of who I am today. So thank you for sharing that. Now, if anybody's gonna ask you what's the difference between real estate in Colombia, where you originally came from, and from Las Vegas, Nevada, are there any similarities or differences, or is there any tips that you can share the audience that are following this podcast about real estate for both countries?
Yeah, so it's very similar. The process is really, really similar. It's just, it's the same thing about inspections, appraisals. Here is like more, there are like more guidelines, because over there is just like if people really want to do the inspections, if they want to do the appraisals, like here you really have to be doing the appraisals for your loan. And so like, but in general, it's really, really similar, the whole process to buy and sell properties.
Thank you for emphasizing that. And then let's talk about your challenges and resilience. People often see your success, but they don't always see the struggles behind it. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced personally or professionally, and how did you overcome those struggles, and what those experiences shape who you are today?
Professionally, I have been dealing a bunch of challenges, starting from people who really are not nice, people who, and that's why I really don't take anything personal as well, because I know that when somebody is not nice, it's because they are going through something in life. Starting like, when you are buying or selling a property, it's not an easy process either. They are going to like be challenges. Like, for example, I was listing a property, so I was representing the seller. And like 2 days before we were going to close, the buyer lost his job. So there was like no any way for him to get the loan anymore. So what I did is like, okay, instead of like stressing out, always like finding solutions, always like looking for like the positive outcome. And like if I really don't have the power of change things, I have just to really like just start like looking just for the solutions. So like thankfully the buyer really found the job like 2 days later, so he was able to get his property. And but like just like keeping my clients calm, because of course when I had to give the news to my clients, so I had just to be super positive, believing that everything's going to work out, never give up no matter what, and always like looking for an outcome to really like help my clients to achieve their biggest goal, that is like buying or selling. So I will say that no, like if we really have problems and challenges, no only thinking about those problems and challenges, because like we have two choices: complain and remain, or praise and raise. So it's just like thinking positive and raising and getting better, or just like complaining and remaining in that problem. So it's what I have been learning through like all my challenges that I have had through life.
That's a very good tip, especially with the mindset, especially for those who are aspiring to be first time homeowners or have struggles of getting pre approval, probably, or probably like they're still searching for their homes right now, right? So it seems like that's a very good tip that we can apply for all those that are actually listening into this podcast. Now, discovering your purpose. Do you believe purpose is something we find or something we gradually create through our experiences? And how did you discover your own sense of purpose?
I will say like the purpose is like something that we can gradually like grow and find. So if we really ask for it and if we really want to find it, because it's just like I will say like everything is sort of like being self-aware, like just finding and knowing like who we are as a people, right? Like what really makes us happy, what we want to be, like where we want to be like in 5 years, like just like learning more about our mission and vision in life. It's just like being like knowing where we want to go, right? Because if we really don't know where we want to go, like there is no way to like go somewhere, right? Personally, what really helped me to really find my purpose was God. I am a Christian, so I believe that God has been the one who has been guiding me through my journey. God has been the one who has been like shaping me into the person that I am today, because I have seen like how much I have been growing, but it's because I really wanted to grow. So I believe that if we really want something, we can get it. It's not going to be easy. There are going to be challenges, but we are going to get there no matter what, because God has a purpose in life. Or even if for people who really are not Christians, just believing in the universe, in a higher power, right? It's just believing like anything is possible if we really want that. Like if we want to become whoever we want to become, we really can just do it.
I like how you said about going back to your roots of knowing your mission, vision. I think that's very important, knowing your short term and long term goals too, right?
Mm.
And a lot of people are not clear about their goals, and that's wherein they're not able to achieve it, or probably they're doing it actually, but they don't find the sense of fulfillment because they don't know what their goals are and they don't know that they achieve so much. That could be true for anybody. Now, finding your purpose versus success. Many people spend years chasing success, yet still unfulfilled. How do you personally define success today, and how has that definition changed over the years?
Success to me is just being at peace, being joyful, being happy. It's like this the biggest success that any person can have, because everyone when everyone talks about success, people really think about money. And so there are a bunch of people who have a bunch of money but they are empty, they are not happy. So that is no success to me. Like success is just being grateful about everything that we have right now, not thinking about like what we are missing, what we want in the future, like thinking, oh no, if I really, until like I get my house, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be happy when I get my car, when I have kids, when I get married. No, like the moment is now. Like we are alive, and that is the biggest gift that we really have to realize. Like we are here for a purpose. We really are super like gifted, of like just being able to walk, to talk, to see, and not taking anything for granted. It's very, very important, because like the small things that we really can take for granted are like the biggest gifts that we have. And just being grateful is the key to be happy, and the happiness for me is like success.
I could not further agree. And it strikes me when you tell me that even the richest people that you know are actually empty on the inside. So it just shows that material things and possessions or being rich at all will not guarantee you to be happy or find happiness. And I think there's a fine line between being happy and being joyful, right? So, and contentment. So even if you have all the nice house, nice cars, and all the digits in your bank, but seems like you're empty on the inside. So that's something that you need to reflect on what really makes you feel contented, because by human nature we are not contented at all, right? We strive to do more. Okay, I want this, I want that. But it will come to a point in your life that those material things don't matter, but you internally reflect on yourself of what really makes you happy. And a lot of people, once you ask that question, can find struggle, that they will say, oh, they're posting different things in social media, but on the inside or the backstory, that's only the surface that we're seeing on the social media. But on the inside, it seems like there's a bigger struggles behind it. And that's where in mental health really comes into place, right?
Exactly. And so as you mentioned, like external factors can influence into our like joy and happiness, just because, like as you mentioned, social media,
Mhm.
even the news. Like I really decided to just see positive things. Like for example, read my devotionals, listening to Christian songs, instead of like watching the news every single day, because news are like 90% negative. So when I was really like watching the news all the time, like I started getting nightmares every single night, and it was really no good. It was really playing. It was like the enemy playing with my mind, like making me fearful, having like anxiety,
Mhm.
and like no being at peace. So being at peace is like the best. And as you mentioned, the joyful and feeling like the being blissful as well. Just like it's like the most important that we really have to protect. We have to protect our minds.
That's definitely true, right? Our mindset, once again, is our biggest asset. So it's either can make you or break you. So I'm very excited about this next question that I'm going to ask you about mental health lessons from real estate. Real estate is more than just buying and selling homes, right? You work with a lot of people during major life transitions. One of my very good friend you've worked with, Mr. Kenneth Lawless, buying their first homes, growing families, investments, relocations, retirement, and sometimes difficult circumstances like divorce, financial hardship, or loss could be a job. How has witnessing this moment shaped you understanding of mental health, empathy, and the human connection behind this?
Yeah, so this is just about helping, right? It's not about selling. It's not about like, oh yeah, I'm just going to get money from this. Because when you really want to help is when you really are going to have more and more blessings coming your way. And so my biggest lesson is just like learning to listen, like listening to my clients, just like listening, understanding like what they really want, what they are feeling, because like based on their feelings is like how they are going to make their decisions as well. and being here, being an advocate for them. It's not about just real estate, but like becoming a friend, because like, for example, Kenneth, I help him, he became my friend. I help you and you became my friend. It's not about like I'm just going to give keys and I'm just going to disappear. I'm just going to be here to be a friend, to support you with anything as well. It's not only with your house, but it's with everything in life. If my clients are not happy for any reason, I'm here to give advice, because I believe, and it's something that I always ask, like, to be blessed every single day, to be able to bless others. Is like what I really want to do every single day. So it's just about like having the empathy. Like, for example, if I have my clients who they want to sell and I see that they are not making money but they are losing money, I'm going to be honest and I'm going to tell them, no, it's better to wait, because I don't want you to be like just losing money. Like any other person can just like don't care about the person and just care about the money and say, yes, I'm going to help you sell right now, just because they want to make money. But like, I really just don't care about that. I just care about like helping, guiding, and if it's not the right time to sell or to buy, just to say, okay, like, this is not the right time, let's wait, and I will let you know when is the right time, just to like for you to like be more beneficial for you.
I like how you emphasize that one, and we feel your genuine concern for our clients, especially being a friend and also a confident, like a cheerleader on how the processes. Because buying a real estate, it could be a first investment property, could be really stressful, right? There are moving parts behind it, but it's really exciting, and I can see that you really cheer for my friend and for all the people that you work with.
That is correct. And as you mentioned, for first time home buyers can be very stressful, right? Because it's their first time buying a property. So that's why before we start like visiting homes, we offer a free class where we teach the whole process to our clients, so they really don't feel lost. They feel that they are in control of the transaction as well. Because, like, I really don't want a client just to like follow me and not knowing what is going on. I want them to be aware, so they are not going to be like stressed out, or they are not going to be anxious, but they are going to know what is next, right? So it's like educating and like teaching is really, really important for sure.
It's true, especially if you don't have an idea of how the process is, like getting loans, getting pre-approvals, doing your inspection. But the fun part is once you guys close, and that's wherein they hand you the keys, and that's wherein, yes, you made it, and it is really a fruitful sacrifice at the end, right? The process could be like very stressful, but at the end, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, and that's very important.
That is correct. And it's motivating clients of like not giving up, because as you mentioned, can be very stressful. So some of them, they really don't know how to handle it. And it's like just being there for them, because I want to do like the process super stress free for them. So like, I really don't want them to do anything. I am doing everything for them. But when they really like are like moments where there are like some challenges, they just like want to give up, and I'm here to remind them that they have a goal and that I'm here for them, and they really wanted that property. If they really want it, they can get it. But like, it's like matter of not giving up. It's like matter of like keep going and like giving our best and like trying to find solutions all the time.
It's a journey. It's a beautiful journey. Once you get to that destination of landing to your first investment property or your home, it really is fulfilling. Like, no words can ever describe that. And you see those smiles, and you see my friend cutting the ribbon.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
then it's like a big and a huge success. This month is National Wellness Month, so we want to focus on self care. And I always ask this to my podcast guests: how do they protect their own mental health? Entrepreneurship could be very rewarding, but also be stressful, uncertain, and emotionally demanding. How do you take care of your own mental health while balancing business, family, responsibilities, and the unexpected challenges that life brings?
Yeah, having good habits is the key, right? And when I wake up, I created the habit of always like thinking about the three things I'm grateful about and writing the things down as well really has been helping me, like start journaling why I'm grateful, and um, listening to my devotionals. As I mentioned, I am Christian, so listening to devotionals, reading the Bible, listening to Christian music, to positive affirmations. Just like basically is what I tell my coworkers as well, because of course, like I have seen them like struggling with like their mindsets, and they always like ask me like how I'm that positive. And I'm just like, no, it's just like kind of brainwashing myself, just like listening a bunch of positive things all the time, no allowing negative uh, sources to affect my mindsets. Like, as I mentioned before, like listening to bad news, like all the news or like the social media, like, like just living other people's life, just like looking at what they are doing all the time, and like comparing, like it's not good just to compare ourselves with others, but just like living our own life and just like focusing on ourselves as well, and to achieve what we really want to achieve, but all of course like helping others and blessing others as well. But yeah, habits really have to do a lot. Another thing that really keeps me very positive, I will say, is like just working out is a very good therapy for me. So it's another thing like I do in the morning. I really have to be working out before I leave home as well, before like going to work, and just like reflecting on what I really want to really achieve, and like uh, just like thinking in the positive way all the time.
That's the way to go, right? Positive mindset equals positive outcomes of your life. The power of optimism and the power of positive thinking is really great because it affects your feelings and also your behaviors and how you see life. And I think a lot of positive thinkers that I know are really successful in life. Now,
Yes. And another thing, I'm sorry. So it's just like, it doesn't mean that because we are positive, we are going to be positive like 100% of the time. We are humans. So as we mentioned before, there are challenges that are going to arise, but the thing is just like learning from those challenges and just becoming better and better, and always, yeah, just like instead of just like going through the routes of like thinking about the challenges, is just like thinking about like what we really want to be in general, right? And who we really want to be.
thank you. Faith is another topic I'd like to talk about. How has Christian faith influenced your personal journey and help you navigate difficult seasons in your life?
Oh, it has been influenced my entire life, 100%. So I grew up Catholic. So my parents, they really didn't have the habit of going to church every Sundays. My mom has been like a very positive person. My parents, they got divorced when I was 7 years old, and my mom started going to a Christian church when I was 7. So I really felt the Holy Spirit that day. But when I was really growing up, I really never, like, I was really never going to really like church at all. But I was really listening to some devotionals. But when I created the habit of really going to church and like learning that God is in control of everything, that instead of like when we have like challenges, like trying to solve everything, but leaving everything in God's hands, is like amazing, because it's like just leaving the burden to God and like no allowing our challenges to control our whole life. So I will say like God has been helping me a lot because I have been asking Him for everything like that I want. I believe. So when you ask and believe, you receive, right? So like He is the one who has been shaping me into the person who I am, because before I was like having anxiety. I was not happy. Like even if I had too many reasons to be happy, all the material things, I was not totally fulfilled. I was like feeling that I was missing something. But when I really start like following Jesus, like everything changed for me. And as I mentioned, like even if like people who really are listening to this podcast, they are not Christians, like just like listening to like the power, like just like a higher power, right? Like the universe or like another thing that they believe in. Like it's very, very important. But it's just like believing that we are here in this world and there is going to be a lifetime after we leave. So it's just God is everything.
And I feel like the faith really molds who you are today and as a real estate and an entrepreneur. It really like created an outlet for you to serve your purpose. Now, you believe strongly in continuous growing and expanding yourself, right? From Colombia to Las Vegas, Nevada. What are some habits, routines, or practices that have helped you continue evolving both personally and professionally? And what does lifelong growth mean to you?
um, I have very good habits that I have been creating. So every single day I wake up at 5 a.m. and I'm always like working out like around 6 a.m. until 7 a.m. And while I'm working out, I'm just like, like growing in my, like, just because I really want to be healthy, but, but I really want just like at the same time, like, I have my headphones on and instead of like listening to like music, I listen to podcasts as well of like professional growth. I love listening to Ed Milet or Tony Robbins, and they're always like like just they're into like the expanding ourselves, like we are here to expand and become better. Like the idea is just to be like become like be better than yesterday, and tomorrow we are going to be better than today, right? So every single day is just like a learning experience. And I will say like surrounding ourselves with positive people as well, and with people who believe in us. Because if we surround ourselves with people who really are negative, people who really are always like attacking us or like putting us down, that is not going to help a lot, like at all, right? So it's just like being with people who lift us up and like people who really can lift up as well. Just like building that community where we can just like support each other and grow together. That is really, really the key. Being like picky with the people who we really surround ourselves, right? Um, yeah, it's just more about it.
Thank you, Lorena. And I like how you emphasize about being with the winners. You're going to be one of the winners. But if you're looking at negative people and you hang out with them, you end up being negative too, right? So I think that that follows a big correlation. Like, tell me who your friends are, and I will tell you who you are.
That is correct. That is correct.
Many of our listeners today are healthcare professionals, students, caregivers, and individuals who may be experiencing burnout, self doubt, or uncertainty about their next chapter. What advice would you give someone who feels stuck, disconnected from their purpose, or afraid to take the next step in their life?
I will say that becoming self-aware is really, really important. And journaling can be a very good therapy. Just writing down what you really want in life. Like, who do you really think who you are? Who you really want to be? Where do you really want to go? Like all of that down is going to give you an idea of like where you really want to go if you really don't have an idea where you want to go right now. And we all of us have dreams, right? And it's believing that if we have those dreams, it's because we really can accomplish those dreams. And it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be possible. So it's just believing in those dreams and creating the guidelines to achieve those goals or those dreams, right? Like if we really want to become like very good at what we really are doing, okay, like studying, like just knowing like how many hours we are going to study, like just creating all the guidelines to really achieve those goals is going to be very important. And most important thing is really like knowing what we want, because if we really don't know what we want, it's going to be harder. But it's always asking like, okay, meditating and thinking, okay, what I want, because sometimes like we really don't even know what we want. We are humans, and like like as a human beings, we are not perfect, and sometimes we really don't know even like what we want, who we want to be with. But it's just asking like to really have that desire in our heart of like what we really want, and it's just like believing that everything is going to be happening if we have the desire in our heart, and like just working towards that desire. It's like always it's not about like what our parents tell us to do, what our family is telling us to do, our best friends, what they tell us to do. No, it's not. Listening to our heart is the most important thing. Just listening to like what we really want, more than the influences, more, as you mentioned, like there are students listening to this, okay, like it's like what I really want, or like what I really want. No, not just because of the external influences, right?
I agree with you. Like there's so much outside noises that they can have, but if you know your roots, you know your why you're doing this, what makes you happy, what motivates you in life, and what is your purpose. I think that's a very strong word and answer that you need to figure out yourself, and only you can answer that.
That is correct.
Now, Miss Lorena, for all those that are listening in to this podcast, where can they connect with you if they're interested of buying their first home, buying their first investment home, or they could be either selling their homes right now? Where can they find you, and how can they connect and find you?
Yeah, so you guys can follow me on social media. I am on Instagram. You are going to find me as Listing with Lorena. And Facebook, TikTok, you will find me as Lorena Frey. And you can even share the number here with them. Like my number is very public. It's 702-377-5312. So you can call me anytime. As I mentioned, I work from Sunday to Sunday. So you can call me anytime. I'm here for you.
Team no days off, as they said, right?
Yes.
Now let's end this podcast with rapid fire talk. So I'm gonna ask a question, and you're gonna give me either a one word or short statement, and no further explanations. One word that describes your current season of life.
Gratitude.
A book that influenced your thinking.
The Ride of Lifetime.
A daily habit you never skip.
Praying.
What brings you peace?
God.
What does success mean to you today?
Joyful.
What does purpose mean to you?
Self-aware.
What does fate mean to you?
Positivity.
One lesson you wish you learned earlier in your life.
I would say faith, for sure.
What are you most grateful for today?
For being alive.
What's next for Lorena Frey?
I'm looking just to expand more and more every single day. So I specialize in the Las Vegas market, but we have connections with top agents everywhere within the US. So if you are looking to buy, sell properties anywhere within the US, it can be California, Florida, New York, anywhere, I'm here to help.
Lorena, thank you for joining us today and sharing your story. I think today's conversation reminds us that regardless of our profession, we are all navigating challenges, seeking purpose, growing through adversity, and striving to live in meaningful lives. Whether you are a nurse, nurse practitioner, therapist, entrepreneur, student, parent, or someone simply trying to figure out the next chapter of your journey, I hope you found encouragement in Lorena's experiences and insights. To everyone listening in right now, thank you for joining us in Mindful Moments with Pedro Morante. If today's conversation resonated with you, please share this episode with someone who may need a little inspiration today. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, LinkedIn, Podbean, and wherever you are listening in to your podcasts. Until next time, take care of your mind, nurture your spirit, and remember that healing and growth often begin with one mindful moment at a time. I'm Pedro Morante, your podcast host, and we'll see you on the next episode of Mindful Moments. Thank you so much, Miss Lorena Frey.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Yes.